Etsy has finally come out with an official statement about using AI art in their platform. YouTube is embracing AI text to speech feature and allowing creators to just, fake a voice. There was also a Reddit thread that I saw that was quite alarming when it comes to TikTok shopping and print on demand. TikTok is in trouble with the US government again. Instagram is banned in Turkey, as well as made some changes to the platform. All that plus a lot of community updates, what I'm doing with my shops, what's going on with this channel and with Patreon and other things. All of that in this monthly episode of Industry News. Now, I want to get started because we do have a lot of news to cover, but before I do that, just in case someone is here and doesn't know, hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maya. I want to teach creative people how to sell their art online, and we're talking about things that happened in the late month of July and news relevant to the industry, whether you're selling on Etsy, doing other types of print on demand, live in Turkey, or counting on TikTok shopping, or just want to follow up for some updates on what I'm doing with my shops. I've never done that before, going over some of my shops, I think, so I will be doing that in this video for the first time, I think. But I'm going to start with Etsy versus AI. In a recent email that people got about Etsy, they're changing their creativity standard. Now, let's put aside how Etsy started with actually being a marketplace for people who do handmade stuff. And there was a lot of issues about people uploading printables and people uploading print on demand items because you didn't make them. And then we had production partners. And now we're talking about AI. So they changed their creativity standards. And when I started reading it, honestly, I did not see this coming. And the new update reads, Etsy's mission is to keep commerce human. Remember that word. Human. We are the marketplace for original items from real people. Real and people. We stay true to this by connecting buyers with unique items made, designed, handpicked, or sourced by creative sellers around the world. This policy, as a part of our terms of use, outlines the types of items that are allowed on Etsy in support of our mission. By listing items for sale on Etsy, you agree to adhere to these policies. Honestly, reading this, I thought to myself, no AI. And you know what? Let's put your views on AI aside. Whether you think that using AI is art theft, or you think that it's immoral, or you think that it's not handmade, or you think it's a valid tool, just like any other tool that we have popped up in the last few, I don't know, decades or so, or years. This mission that Etsy is on to keep commerce human was quite a surprise if you actually dive deep into what is Etsy's stance on AI creation, which was linked from that article. And, well, I did not see this coming. Seller prompted AI creations. After carefully considering the complex issues around AI generated content, we have decided to continue to allow sellers to use their original prompts in combination with AI tools to create the artwork they sell on Etsy. I like the fact that original prompt. So technically, that means that if I gave you a prompt and you used it, then that's not your original prompt. Okay. Permitted examples of this might include a fantasy scene based on a seller's original prompt or input and produced by an AI generator, or a custom portrait of a buyer's pet generated using AI tools. So, yes to AI. But sellers must disclose within their listing description if an item is created with the use of AI. I wonder, does that go back to like the last year where people would have to update their thousands of listings? Because I do know that a lot of sellers have just been like, what I like to call farting designs over onto Etsy. Does that mean that they have to go back to all of their listings and say in the descriptions made using AI? We believe this decision aligns with our values of supporting artists through the evolution of art. However, we also understand there are important ongoing conversations regarding the training of AI models, including ethical questions about the use of copyrighted works and concerns about mitigating bias and negative environmental impacts. As such, we will be closely monitoring developments in this rapidly evolving area, listening to feedback from our community. That would be a first on Etsy's side, and periodically reevaluating our policies. periodically. So basically, my take on this, my opinion, everybody now can upload AI stuff. You put it in your description, and then in like a quarter or 2 quarters, Etsy's going to look at everybody who put that in their description and decide, did that make us enough money to listen to our community? We are committed to striking the right balance between enabling our sellers to leverage new creative tools and technologies while ensuring that Etsy remains a marketplace known for its original items from real people. Maintaining the trust of both our sellers and buyers, I'm sorry, will always be our top priority. And again, I am not saying in this video my opinion about AI art or if it's permitted, but Etsy is a marketplace for handmade items. Like print on demand was already a stretch, but fine. Now, let's look at AI prompt bundles. While we allow the use of AI tools in the creative process, we prohibit the sale of AI prompt bundles on our platform. Why? I mean, you say that someone's creativity is at play here. AI prompts, me telling you what to write, is actually more creative than me prompting something and creating it myself. I'm confused. We believe that the prompts used to generate AI artwork are an integral part of the creative process and should not be sold separately from the final artwork. Okay, but that doesn't mean that someone would use these prompts to later sell on Etsy. That means that someone came up with a list of these prompts and then someone can use them and sell elsewhere. I don't know. It feels kind of contradicting. Is anyone getting me on this? Selling prompt bundles without the accompanied finished artwork undermines the value of the artist's creative input and curation, which are essential to the creation of the unique creative items that Etsy is known for. One, Etsy is not known for that, but fine. And two, so basically I can sell on Etsy an AI prompt bundle as long as I include the things that were prompted with it. From bad to worse. They also updated their policy with adult content referring to AI, which states that any AI generated depiction of adult content must follow the rules and restrictions outlined by our prohibited items policy, which, by the way, I'm going to leave links down below to this. If you go and look at their prohibited item policy, the prohibited items relating to adult content, those items are very easily found on Etsy. And the thing is that people don't understand, oh, how can they police this? Very easy. If they prohibit the use of, how do they rephrase it, inserted items in terms of adult toys, they could have just searched the word like I did on Etsy and find loads of them and blocked it. People are not even hiding the fact that they're selling it. So now Etsy is allowing the use of AI art, but then again, Etsy is always not allowing things and not deleting them, so we'll see how this progresses later on. But enough about Etsy, let's move on to YouTube Shorts. And I have seen people talk about generating video content, whether it's shorts or long-form videos using AI. There is a really great AI video tool called InVideo. I'm actually an affiliate of InVideo. I was looking forward to making videos about them because I thought that their content is really good. Even though I don't like using AI content as much in my creations, and I'm not sure that I will be using them at any point. Maybe I'll make a video about that. Please let me know in the comments down below if you want me to test out InVideo for you to let you know if you should have a membership. However, in the last few weeks or months, it kind of felt like social media platforms, YouTube, Meta, are kind of trying to restrict AI. I mean, you have to mark down if this was made with AI, if the content was enhanced with AI, or whatever. And that's why this has been a shock to me that they have a text-to-speech feature right on YouTube Shorts. And this text-to-speech feature might save people some money because I do know that there are people who pay for tools like text-to-speech. And for those of you who don't know what text-to-speech is, it's basically when you write a text and someone, a voice, is narrating that text for you. So in a Creator Insider update from 2 weeks ago, they updated that now when you go to Shorts, when you want to upload a short, you can just upload your video and then add text on it from the add text feature of YouTube, and then choose a voice to narrate that text. They said that this feature will be available soon. This was 2 weeks ago, so it might be available now. I don't know, because that feature is only available for Android users, and I have an iPhone. So no for me. If any of you have a YouTube channel and an Android, can you check if that is an available option so far and update us? That would be lovely. Thank you. Moving on to TikTok shopping, and this is something that I found over on Reddit. I know nothing about TikTok. I think I mentioned it in several videos. I do not have TikTok on my phone. I do not use TikTok in any way, shape, or form. I am thinking about making a video explaining that, but I'm very much against their algorithm, the way that it works, the way that it pries onto people with mental illness, the way that it pries on children. And apparently I'm not alone because the US government is with me on that side. But people were talking about the TikTok shopping experience, and I didn't know anything about it. I mean, we're looking into integrating this with various tools, so let's look how it works. With someone called Bunny Vampy on Reddit, posted about 8 days ago. Affording Printify costs when selling through TikTok Shop. And in this case, it's not just affording Printify costs, it's affording any kind of print-on-demand supplier you may have. And Bunny Vampy writes, I'm new to TikTok Shop and I posted my first listing on TikTok Shop through Printify. I've been hearing you don't get paid by TikTok until some days after the order is delivered. Think about that. Print-on-demand. The buyer pays you, you pay the supplier. But if the buyer pays TikTok and TikTok only pays you after the order is delivered, you're paying everything out of pocket, which for most people will be fine because at the beginning you will start selling maybe 1 or 2 or 3 items and you can afford it. But what happens if one of your videos go viral or you're doing it when you're already established with a following? How would I be able to afford the Printify costs if, say, 100 people order my product through TikTok Shop in one day? My t-shirt costs around $12 each to produce through Printify, so that would be $1,200 out of my pocket until I get a payout from TikTok. Any advice is really appreciated. I've heard people recommending using credit card, like business credit cards, which is new to me because I'm not American, so I'm guessing there are different plans like that. But I do feel like this is a topic that needs to be brought up because so many people have been asking me about TikTok shops. So if you're getting paid after the buyer gets the order, which I'm not sure is even true because when I was trying to dive deeper into TikTok shopping, what I saw is that you get paid 14 days after the order was made. And also I've seen sources citing that you get paid once you prove to TikTok that you shipped the order. But let's just look at the scenario because you will be getting paid a while after you're paying the supplier yourselves. And I think that's something that should be considered with people because the way you access your money for a lot of people who are starting print on demand is the way you fund the items that you are selling. And I would love to hear if anybody has any TikTok shops or any experience with that. Moving on to US versus TikTok, and this came out in the beginning of the month. So US files new lawsuit against TikTok. Is anyone counting how many lawsuits are against TikTok from the US? Anyone? US files a new lawsuit against TikTok saying it doesn't do enough to protect kids. And I can tell you this from experience because I do remember very early on researching TikTok that I have noticed that it doesn't matter what age the person writes that they are in. TikTok starts showing you a variety of things to test the algorithm, to test what you like. And if you like news articles about, let's call it, violent incidences, then TikTok will show you more and more and more of that. And someone proved it by joining TikTok and saying that they're 13 years old, and quite fast the entire feed was filled with gruesome and violent and like the full footage of violent acts. So the US Department of Justice has filed a lawsuit against TikTok and its parent company, ByteDance, for allegedly failing to protect children's privacy on the platform. We're no longer talking about the content that kids are being exposed to, but their privacy. Alongside the Federal Trade Commission, the government has accused the popular social media app of not acting in the interest of young people's privacy. I think no social media is acting in the favor of the privacy of the people using it. It's just me. It is alleged the company has violated the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, a law that prohibits collecting, using, or disclosing personal details of children under 13 without parental consent. I would leave a link down below to this article, but this is something quite important. Now, one thing when I started reading this article and thought about bringing it to this video is that I was going to give my 2 cents about the fact that I do think that the presidential elections in the US are going to be some kind of a determined factor what happens with TikTok with the US. And apparently, I wasn't alone because as I was scrolling down on this article, it literally says TikTok's fate could swing on presidential election. It is important to note that it is not just the US that has pushed back against TikTok after the United Kingdom and the European Union launched separate actions alleging a failure to protect children and for improperly handling data. The Justice Department failing said, for years, defendants have knowingly allowed children under 13 to create and use TikTok accounts without their parents' knowledge or consent, have collected extensive data from those children, and have failed to comply with parents' requests to delete their children's accounts and personal information. So I do think that we will have a bigger swing on this based on the results of the elections in the US, even though the EU and the UK have their own different stance and are not that affected from that. I do want to know how many people of you use TikTok and what you think about this. I do know it's good for certain topics, but it's kind of, yeah. It's getting out there. It's getting kind of weird. And to be honest, there is a new segment here on TikTok that I saw available. I'm on Read Write. I'm going to leave links to everything down below. Let's read it together because I just saw it now. This is from yesterday, from the 8th of August. New TikTok Spotlight feature connects creators to fan content. TikTok has confirmed a new feature, in-app portals, for movies and TV shows, creating a new link to fan-made content on the social media platform. TikTok Spotlight will automatically place an anchor link on selected fan-made videos, acting as a bridge to a trove of further information on the relevant larger production. By clicking on the link, users of the ByteDance own platform will have access to direct links to purchase tickets for screenings or to watch streaming services. There will also be a significant cast info, bio details, cast lists, official links, and more. I'm actually quite curious about this. Again, I'm not on TikTok, but it sounds kind of interesting. Maybe if you make like some kind of fan video about a TV show, there will be an easier link for anyone to just look at what this TV show is and who plays in it. Or if you're doing some kind of content about a movie that came out, people can go and buy tickets. This is the only update I've ever seen from TikTok that I thought, ooh, this could be nice. Moving on to Turkey banning Instagram. Turkey blocks access to Instagram for failure to comply with laws. This is from August 2nd. Ankara on August 2nd. Turkey blocks access to social media platform Instagram on Friday for failing to comply with the country's laws and rules. I'm not air quoting myself, it's in the article. A government minister says. The move came after senior Turkish official accused the platform of blocking condolences posts following the unaliving of a leader of a militant group. We warned Instagram about certain offenses. We want some rules to be followed. We intervene when they disregard legal rules and public sensitivity. So Instagram is blocked in Turkey. And I remember when I first read this, I was talking to a friend here and I was like, oh my God, I need to talk about this on my channel. And they were like, do you think it's relevant? And I'm like, yeah, because I do know a lot of Etsy sellers from Turkey, actual handmade Etsy sellers from Turkey that use Instagram to promote their shops. I know a lot of people from Turkey who use Instagram to promote their shops. And if I have to look at an sort of equivalent to that when it comes to Instagram being banned in the country, not for the same reason, but Instagram being banned in Russia, people had a hard time trying to bypass that because using VPNs didn't always work. Also, major credit companies were banning Russia or Russian credit card holders from using credit card, so they couldn't actually pay for VPN services if they didn't have them sooner, or their VPN service was canceled because the credit card could no longer process this. Russia was also blocking, allegedly, certain VPNs. So if any of you is watching this from Turkey, I would love to know if you have access to Instagram, if you have access to VPNs. I really don't know much about it, but I thought to put it out there along with another Instagram news. And this was a big shocker for me, mostly because I haven't seen it anywhere. I just opened my phone and I was scrolling through Instagram, and you know that you get this like feeling that something is off, but you don't know how to like pinpoint that. That happened to me when I was scrolling through Instagram, and all of a sudden I realized that my feed on Instagram is no longer 1:1 ratio images, no longer the 1080 pixels by 1080 pixels, 1:1 ratio, the square. If you think that this is no big deal, this is actually quite a big deal because it could affect the way your images look. For example, I have this image that I posted on Instagram that is a perfect square, and it looked perfect on the feed when people were scrolling on my feed and saw the full text. But now it's a bit cropped out. And yes, even in the cropped out version, it still looks okay. But if I had the text a little bit closer to the edges, then that text would have been gone from the feed. I also know a lot of people who design their Instagram feed thought out, so they always upload photos in 3 that kind of look like the same photo is completing itself, but now this is not going to look like that because they changed the ratio. As far as I noticed, the new ratio is 4:5 and approximately 1080 pixels by 1350. There is no change, however, to desktop. As far as I know, for now, Instagram on desktop still shows a 1:1 ratio. The thing is that when I was looking at it, I was thinking, how did I not notice it and when did it start? Because when you go on Instagram from your mobile and you try to upload a photo, snapping it to the Instagram ratio still snaps it into 1:1 ratio. I know because I literally just tried this morning. I don't know what happened that they started doing this, maybe because Reels have become more popular than anything else and people found it a little bit difficult to snap a reel into the preview image over on Instagram, but this change has happened. Now, this is a part of the video between the general news online and local news, as I like to call it. And at that point, I would like to kindly ask you that if you liked this video or found this content useful, please hit the like button down below, because believe it or not, every time you do that, it really does help my channel. And subscribe to my channel for more tutorials on print-on-demand, product reviews, printables, and of course industry news when it comes to platforms and social media. Moving on to local news. Local news means everything relating to our community, relating to the content that I'm uploading on this channel, as well as related to me and what I've been doing when it comes to my work. I was actually thinking to do a personal Q&A sometime soon. Please let me know in the comments if you'll be interested in that, and then I could release like a Google form for your questions. But let's start with the fact that it did take me a while to create this video. I wanted to post this video really early in the month of August, and we're not early in the month of August, we're almost in the middle. I've been dealing with a flare-up of my coccyx injury and my fibromyalgia, but I'm dealing with it fine, and honestly, I think that the most important part of having chronic issues that can flare up, not the ones that are permanent throughout time, but the ones who flare up, is to have this like system in place. What do I do when this flares up? So my system is always check if I have enough meds that I need. In this case, I texted a friend if they can bring me some meds that I didn't have, mostly anti-inflammatory, and also check if I have enough things in my house. Thank God for online supermarket delivery and good friends that I had to keep me company, as well as reaching out to friends who are currently not in Bulgaria and just having long video chats with them and illustrating in bed, because that's why I got an iPad 3 years ago when I broke my coccyx, so that I can work from bed. And I've been doing that and just really trying to keep your spirits high. I learned to not post on social media when I'm in a flare up, like in the severe part. Oh, look at me, I'm in bed, I'm suffering, because the attention that comes from that when you are in this stage of the pain can only put you further down. So just contacting your very close friends that you know will not give you pity, but just give you help. And I've actually had very meaningful and nice conversations with friends about life goals in the last few days. So I'm ever grateful for my friends here, for my friends who are not here, for the books that I have, for supermarket delivery, as well as illustrating on my iPad, and actually some conversations with viewers of the channel. This all happened while I was celebrating 9 years for my online business and thinking, where is it going? So I did do a lot of thinking, and it will be reflected in the local news. The first is the fact that I made an order from Nova Tomato. I think I updated it in the July news section that I found the Repper dress. Repper, for those of you who don't know, is a brilliant app to create patterns, not AI, just good old-fashioned math. And they have these 3D mock-ups that you can look at to see how your pattern is going to look like, and they have this beautiful wrap dress. Now, I didn't find the exact wrap dress, but I did have a supplier called Nova Tomato, again, who is coming up with these names, reach out to me asking if I can make a video about their products, and I looked in and they had a wrapped dress. So I ordered the wrap dress and a bunch of other products, and they have arrived yesterday after, I think, more than a month, and exuberating calls and tryouts to shipping companies. It's been quite a hassle, but it finally arrived. And I was looking at it. One thing that I do have to say about Nova Tomato is that it's really cool that you can add branding to your items for free. And I am showing it on the video, I think, with a tag, but I also have the tag here. This is so cool. This arrived on the actual item, and this was like the ticket that comes with the item, but there is also a ticket on the actual like shirt back ticket. And all of the items are currently in the wash, and I'll be making a video reviewing their items in the next few days or next week, depending on how I feel. And that video will also include the design process, because I filmed my design process for these items as well. They do have some really cool features on the platform that I will be sharing in that video. Moving on to, I finally got everything that I ordered for my birthday from you guys. My birthday was the 28th of June, and I finally got the last thing yesterday. And I just want to share it with you guys because it's been adorable shopping from your stores, and also some product review along the way because some of these items are new to me. I ordered a white t-shirt that says Retro Queen. I really do like this t-shirt. It's adorable. And I usually cut most of my t-shirts next. This one is from Awkward Styles. I didn't because it's very wide, but this one looks wide enough as well. So I probably won't need to cut off the neck from that. Oh, don't worry. I'm throwing it on a sofa, not on the floor. The second thing I got is something that I have reviewed multiple times in this channel, and I have loads of. So it wasn't like a product that I wanted to test out. It was just this notebook. Be the Woman You Needed as a Girl. That entire drawing, yeah, it touched a nerve. And I think this is gonna be like the theme for this notebook, the woman that I want to be to other women or to younger women, or what I needed as a child and didn't get it, sort of like, I don't know, journaling sessions, shadow work in this notebook. I also got a tea towel, I think the tea towel or the face towel, the smallest size of towel. And to the person who designed it, which is beautiful, by the way, I want you to check if you had a problem in the design upload, because there is like a white line here that isn't anywhere else. But the towel quality is actually quite good, and it doesn't smell like print on demand. The towel quality is insane. Like I'm looking at this and I kind of want to order all of their towel sets again. So if anybody was thinking about towels from Zazzle, good quality. And last but not least, this eyes keychain. I'm trying to see why the camera is not zooming in on it. Yeah. Okay, we got it. This eye keychain, the acrylic keychain, it's actually kind of cute, and I'm going to add it to my keychain collection. If you want to see the full video of the things that I did for my birthday, we'll leave a link to that one down below. Thank you for anyone who participated in the contests for my birthday. I think this was the 4th year that I celebrated my birthday with you guys, and it's always a pleasure. Moving on to shop updates. And when I say shop updates, I mean mine. So I stopped payments for Society 6 and opened Spoonflower. I love making patterns. I don't think that's a secret, and I've been illustrating a lot more, and this comes even before the recent flare-up. I think in the beginning of the month of July that I was starting to think more about Spoonflower because I do like their fabrics. I even made a test order, and I know that a lot of you have been wondering about Spoonflower, or if it's worth to sell on Spoonflower, because up until very recently, you would have had to order every single fabric that you create in order to make it public. And that was the case when I first heard of Spoonflower a few years back. But now they changed it. You do have to make an order, but that order is only to be shipped to you, so you can verify your own address, and it could be for any product at any size at any cost. I did make that order. I got 2 satin fabrics from it, and I started uploading. And I loved the process of uploading so much, especially when Spoonflower has home decor items and things that I love selling, like curtains and bed sheets. And a part of me was thinking, why am I still on Society 6 when the process of uploading to Society 6 takes so much more time, so much more effort in preparing the files and adjusting every single one of them? Why am I still on that platform? And then I noticed, obviously, the change of prices between Society 6 and Spoonflower, and I never thought I would say it, but Society 6 is kind of cheap compared to Spoonflower. I decided for now to stop my payments to Society 6, and I say for now because I'm already uploading to Spoonflower. I'm uploading so many types of patterns. I posted on our community tab here on YouTube and on our Facebook group. If any of you have questions about Spoonflower or tips about Spoonflower, I read all of them, and I'm looking into creating really good collections, maybe using some design challenges, and of course external marketing. And my external marketing will have a lot to do with a new niched project. So 1, there will be a Spoonflower series. I will keep you guys updated. The first video will be, how to open a store, how to verify your account, and also how to upload products in 2 different types of aspect ratios when it comes to the design. And I also ordered more fabrics to be tested and shown on that video. I will probably do some kind of SEO evaluation, as well as talk about the tips that you have shared with us and answer some of your questions if I can. And I'm thinking about doing it more like a series, not just one video, kind of like the Zazzle series that I did, I think almost 2 years ago or even more. Going back to that niche project that I mentioned, this niche project is going to have multiple platforms that it's on. It's going to have a blog. It's probably going to have a YouTube channel. It's going to be on Instagram. It's going to be used with Pinterest. It's going to be heavily dependent on SEO. And I will be using multiple different types of income methods or revenue methods to make money from this project, including affiliate marketing, print on demand, printables, and running ads. I loved seeing that Spoonflower had these decor items that I would use, but again, they're very much more expensive than Society 6. And in Society 6, I can affiliate myself, which is much, much better. So me stopping the payments for Society 6 is not because I don't want to use it, but because I do know that I want to build this project from the SEO point of view correctly. And I have not been able to really work from my desk in the last few weeks that much. So I decided to stop my plan for paying for Society 6 right now, focus on uploading these designs to Spoonflower, starting the project, and I will probably reopen my Society 6 store. I didn't close it, I just stopped paying the plan. I'll probably get back to this in the winter and add more things once the blog and the YouTube and the socials are more built and already working. I'm going to do a proof of concept for this niche before fully diving into this niche with Society 6. And if this niche is not going to progress that much and I will have other niches that I'm thinking about, I'm going to use Society 6 for that. By the way, I'm going to be using Hostinger Website Builder to create the blog for this niche, and I'm excited. It's going to be the first project that I'm really diving in with Hostinger Website Builder as a WordPress person for the past, I want to say decade, but it's a lot more than that. And for those of you who have not tried the Hostinger Website Builder blogging feature, I will leave links down below to the 2 videos I made in the blogging series of blogging with Hostinger. Moving on to my Redbubble store. So I don't know if you guys remember, but I did this like AI challenge where I pretty much uploaded designs using AI to Redbubble. I think it was 20 or 25 designs per week using a different method every time. And that entire drill and exercise was to prove to you guys that using AI art without marketing, without purpose, without style, just randomly, is worth nothing because nothing is going to sell. I deleted most of these random items. Very few of them sold, and I kept them, as well as kept other things that I had on the platform of Redbubble that were selling. I did upload some more things relating to my new project. TeePublic. I haven't done anything with TeePublic, mostly because a lot of my items on TeePublic are just selling by themselves. I might upload a few new things if I feel like it for the holidays, or if I make a tutorial with a different tool, but I haven't done so far. TeePublic is pretty much running itself. I'm not marketing TeePublic. These are just sales from t-shirts and stickers and mugs and phone cases that have been going on for a very long time. An update on my Fourth Wall stores, because I know that a lot of people have been looking forward to seeing what's going on with Fourth Wall for me. So I do have 2 shops with Fourth Wall currently. One was the Cows shop and the other one is the Jewish merch. The Jewish merch is still live and kicking. I am promoting it a few times, mostly in private and personal groups on Facebook. I haven't been posting much on social media because every time I do so, I get a bunch of hate comments and hate messages, even though what I will be posting has no political influence. It's just like holiday stuff. And I kind of got really, really tired from that and put it on the side because the mental effects from that were really hard. They are also hard every time I mention this here because people think that because you're Jewish, they know everything about your political opinions or what you stand for. And yeah, it's been hard dealing with it. So the merch shop, I haven't updated anything. I should have because Rosh Hashanah is coming close and Sukkot and all of this, but I've just been too tired to deal with this topic. And a lot of life changes that also happen. I think people who follow me on Instagram know a little bit better what I was talking about. So that shop is still alive and kicking, still making me money. I'm still making sales, but I'm not really promoting it on social media and I'm not going to blog about it. The Cows shop, which has been fantastic to make, was actually made when I was doing a tutorial for Patreon on how to open your Fourth Wall shop and also giving tips and advices. And I learned so much from establishing that shop. But I am more into SEO projects that are searchable, that has content that people are searching to read about, And not many people are searching content relating to cows. It is a very good niche and very cool, and the items are awesome and amazing, and I'm surrounded with them also in my house. And I left the shop standing, but I'm not marketing it anymore. I am, though, grateful to take the opportunity to do that, to work on that shop, because I have experimented with multiple products and I've given so many content and value to those of you who watch those videos with the tips for fourth wall, whether they were on Patreon or on YouTube. And I do know that many people learned from it. So I feel grateful just for the experience. I am not sure if I'm going to be opening fourth wall for the new project that I'm working on. I'm guessing that once I do the proof of concept, when it comes to if this topic is good when it comes to SEO, if I'm getting enough traffic, I will probably open a fourth wall shop for that because, hey, it's a free website builder that allows you to sell Printful products. So I'm good with that. And speaking of Printful, there is a new video of me on the Printful's channel. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but earlier, I think 2 months ago, Printful uploaded a video with me on their channel sharing summer products. And I don't know what was worse, filming summer products for Printful on a frozen beach in Greece early May because it was so cold, or filming a winter products video for Printful when it's 35 Celsius degrees here, and 35 Celsius degrees for those of you who are living in the United States is 95 Fahrenheit, wearing the all over print hoodie and leggings designed in retro style, and it's now available on the Printful YouTube channel. I will leave links to both of these videos down below. And speaking of me on someone else's channel, I actually filmed, spoiler alert, with another YouTuber for their channel, talking about print on demand, talking about fourth wall, talking about marketing, the blogging concept, and showing a lot of products. And maybe now is a good time for guesses. Comment down below who is the YouTuber that I filmed with last week. Let's see if someone is gonna guess who I filmed with. By the way, I did talk about Displate with that YouTuber, and it's kind of cool because I was mentioning that Displate now has Textra on the July news video, and that I really want to order it to see how it looks in real life. But I'm in Bulgaria and they don't ship to Bulgaria. I might ship it to Misha's family in Slovakia and have them ship it here. But that YouTuber actually had Textra, so I got to see it in real life, which was amazing. And it also got me thinking, should I go back to Displate, maybe with a new project niche, or maybe just in general with different things that I illustrate on my iPad? So many things. And my plate is so full. And one thing that I did realize is that for the longest time, I was trying to balance my plate by reducing content on this channel or putting some kind of a limit to how many videos I make a month. And then I realized it's not that I want to make 4 or 5 videos a month, it's that I want to control how many videos I make. I want to control if I want to film 7 videos this week or if I don't want to film for the next month. And that takes me to Patreon, because on Patreon, I literally have people who support me for content, and I felt like I was letting people down. There was a full video on that on Patreon posted on August 1st. I'm not going to say too much about it because it was personal, I guess, between me and the patrons there, and I am closing Patreon. I am closing it mostly because of the reason that I opened it, and that is insane to me that it's been a year since the YouTube invalid traffic mess. And the reason I opened Patreon, so things were back with YouTube a long time now, like back to normal, I guess. So the reason why I opened Patreon is not there anymore. And also I feel like the stress of having to do something or not knowing if I'll be able to do it was kind of weighing on me in this very stressful period in my life. And I decided to close Patreon. Patreon is still open. It's scheduled to be deleted probably at the beginning of September. But if you guys want to join and see the content that I've uploaded in the last year almost to Patreon, including exclusive videos that were never shown on YouTube, you can join for $3 a month, watch all of them, and then cancel it after a month. Or join the $7 tier to get access to, I would say, a buttload of free graphics for commercial purposes that you can just join, download, and cancel the next month. I've had people saying that they feel like it's a bit off to join with $7, download all of these files that are basically available to purchase on maytribe.com for like $70 or $100. I haven't even calculated the amount. That they feel like it's kind of fraud. I don't think it's the kind of fraud. If you want to join, download all of the freebies and then cancel, feel free to do so. I will leave links to that down below. I've gotten a lot of supporters saying that they want me to keep Patreon open, that they think that it has nothing to do with me uploading content or not. They just love supporting me. And for those who want to support on different ways, there is still the sort of buy me a coffee or $5 to support the channel over on matribe.com, along with a bunch of other commercial use graphics, seamless patterns, backgrounds, and even Procreate brushes that you can find on matribe.com. As for people who are using Patreon as a way to keep track of the things I do personally or professionally, videos on this channel and the community, I would refer you to our amazing Facebook community. Amazing because of you guys, not because of me, and the amazing tips and posts that you guys upload there. Also, the free newsletter over on Substack, link down below, and my personal Instagram if you want to see what it's like to live in the mountains of Bulgaria. Now, I would love comments on anything that I mentioned in this video, personal news or global social media, print on demand, design, Etsy, AI related news. I really do appreciate everyone who takes the time to comment on anything that I post here on YouTube, even though it takes me forever to reply to comments. But with that being said, that was it for me for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something new or were at least entertained in the last 40 or so minutes. I don't know how long it will be after the cut. And as usual, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!